Let's time to invite our guest. Let's invite guest Mr. Yogi sir, the co-founder of GRE Edge. He's an expert. He has written thousands of SOPs, helped thousands of students reach their dream universities. Sir, can you hear us? Are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can hear and see you. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'll be focusing on the key elements or parameters that you should consider when you draft a SOP. And also, I'll be telling you, many people I saw, they said they had starting problems, right? So we'll also share a process by which they can get over the starting process, the how to get started, organize their thoughts, and in step by steps get to the stage where they draft the SOP. So each of you wants yourself to be perceived in a different way by the other person, by the organizing committee. Do you get that? So now your resume, your grade cards, your GRE scores, they talk about your credentials in a quantitative terms, right? In numeric terms, right? But the SOP should show your human side, right? Because anyway, you're going to send your resume, and you'll be filling their forms. In the forms, they'll ask you all your details, your grades, TOEFL scores, GRE scores, a number of years of experience. So they have all your quantitative data. What they don't have is the whatever all of you presented now, the unique you, right? Your human side. So your SOP should convey your human side, which means your beliefs and attitudes that drive you as a person and motivate you to achieve the goals that you have in mind. So now, whenever Dhoni walks, I mean, he used to walk into the stadium. Any player walks into the stadium, they they show his details, right? The statistics of that person. When did he start playing? What is his age? How many matches he has played? How many hundreds? What is the average scores and so on? So this is all is quantitative data. Am I right? So just by this, would you know Dhoni as a person? I mean, we know something from outside of this, but does this statistics tell us anything more about Dhoni as a person? We know he's cool, right? In this movie, did all those human aspects come out? Whatever you said, struggle, dedicated, determined, cool, dedication. Did all that come up in the movie? Now you get it. What your SOP should be at a very conceptual level. Do you understand? Huh? So your 2-page SOP or 2.5-page SOP, it should be your biopic, right? You may not have so many incidents like Dhoni, but still the key incidents that motivated you, drives you, the beliefs that drive you, that makes the individual that you are, hmm, that is what ultimately your SOP should come out, and it should make a very interesting reading for the profs who are reading your SOP. So let us slowly get deeper now into the mechanics. These are the 4-5 things that should come out very strongly in anybody's SOP. This first is you have a passion for a particular domain. There is an area and you're really passionate about it. It could be machine learning, it could be civil structures, or aerodynamics. It could be material science, any field. But which field you are very passionate about, and all the information that you give, the various things that you did. It's from that it should be very clear that you really have a passion for a particular domain, and you know it and you have identified it. Second is, you know what you're passionate about. Not just that, you also know how to channelize that passion into a beautiful career for yourself, right? Which satisfies you and brings out your complete potential. Is that clear? First, you have a passion, and second, you also have a very clear idea or a vision of how to transform that into a successful career for yourself, right? Which will bring out the maximum from you, out of you. Then, uh, the third point that should come out is you're self-aware. You're self-aware of your strengths that you have and the areas that you wish to build upon, right? So you are passionate, you know how to take that passion ahead and make a successful career for yourself too. But at the same time, you're aware what you have now, what are the strengths that you have now, and what is what is lacking, which you want to build to reach that goal, that ultimate goal that you have in mind. So that means you're self-aware, pretty self-aware of your strengths and the opportunity areas that you wish to develop. Having seen all this, your message that should come out is that you're very clear why you want to study in this particular university and pursue that particular master's course. So you have a passion, you know what career you want to build, you know what skills therefore are needed for that career, and therefore why this MS program, specific MS program in your specific university, will help you develop those skills. To summarize, this is how, these are the key messages, here is a typical things that you cover in a SOP. Okay, but it should not be discrete. That's true. One should gradually blend from one to another. But largely, first is cover your undergrad studies, the key projects that you did at undergrad, then the projects at your workplace. If you have work experience, then your other interests, which makes you a complete person. Then how you have planned to channelize your passion into a successful career, and why does that specific MS program at that particular university is best suited for you, right? So as you describe all this, it's all at your it should show that at some point here, maybe in your undergrad or while doing a project, it is sometime at this point a passion for a particular field aroused in you, and through all this, steps 1, 2, 3, this is how you gradually nurtured it, right? And when you reach point 5, you're pretty clear, of how I'll take my passion ahead and make a successful career for myself, right? And then you wind it up showing how your university can be the right stepping stone for me. So these are the 3 steps in drafting an essay. It doesn't happen in one night. It doesn't happen in a day's time. It takes gradual thinking and iterations before you get your SOP right. First, just take a plain paper or a blank document, Word doc or a Google doc, and start gathering points. Basically, start introspecting yourself. So what should you introspect? And start writing down in your own language, and preferably write them in full sentences. Don't write like SMS. Okay, at this point, you're not drafting an essay. You're only introspecting, step 1. Then once you've done that, second step is to decide from all this, what would you want to prioritize, number 1, and what is the sequence, the flow that you want to narrate your story. Am I making sense? So now you have all the raw data. Now you pick and choose what you want, and you arrange it in the way that you wish your story to develop. Okay, and then that helps you define the paragraphs of your essay. So the first para, opener, it should be the essence of the whole SOP. Does that make sense? Like, have you seen abstracts of journal papers? An abstract of a journal paper, it tells you the problem, the unique approach it took, and also what are the successes that research got, right? You get it? So first para is the essence rather than an opener. It is an opener too, but most likely it is an essence of the SOP. At a very summary level, telling the reader what drives you and what's your belief system that you have, and what drives you. Okay, then that belief system or that opener gradually leads you to choosing of that was one of the fundamental reasons why you did a particular UG in a particular branch. Is that fine? Like for many people it will match, that MS and UG might match. If not, that's okay. That you might be a problem solver and you might be like mathematics, and that's why you must have chosen electrical engineering, right? But then as you describe your electrical engineering, you show how you changed, and now you become more of a machine learning and data science kind of a person, right? So you may also show how you gradually changed in the course of the UG study. So it all depends on how you want your reader to see you. Then if you had work experience like the one that we just read now, how a novice that you were when you just entered the industry, and now after spending 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, as the case may be, how have you become uh, a matured professional who has an exam, who now knows where the industry is going, what he wants to do. He has developed leadership, understands how industry works, and so on, and in general has a strong awareness of the trends in the field. So even if you don't have work experience, this should come out, that you are strongly aware of the trends in the field. Now, since you know your passion, you describe what is the road ahead for your passion. Before that, you could also mention your other interests, or after this. That depends on how you want to write it. Some people write it after this, your extracurricular. Some people write before. So, but this is a very crucial para wherever it comes. That is the para which defines, shows that you're clear how you want to take your passion ahead. And how do you want to channelize it into a successful career, which not only benefits you, but it also benefits the community, right? And then from gradually you move on, show your, that self-awareness, that you know where you want to go, you know what kind of skills it needs, you know what you have, and you want to leverage on what you have to develop those extra skills, and therefore the need for higher studies. So from smoothly you jump from this to this need for graduate studies. Why you want to do graduate studies now, and what is the area you want to specialize, which are the specific uh, you know a, um, uh, specific things that you're looking for. Okay, and then you very gradually show how that particular program in that particular university exactly fits what you're looking for. Okay, and end up saying that the relationship between you and the university will be mutually benefiting, that you will also contribute by your perseverance, hard work, innovative nature, and so on, and you will also give back to the university. Or if you have extracurricular activities, you will enrich the diversity on the campus, and so on. The person uh, who is reading your SOP knows that you have studied that university very thoroughly, and you're very clear why you want to join them. So every university should feel that you have uniquely studied them. Finally, some don'ts. So this we discuss. It's not a display of your literary skills and vocabulary. Use words very appropriately. It is not. Do get your document reviewed by a couple of experts, but don't get it reviewed by too many people. Then it will be confused. It will be confusing for you, because each person thinks differently of what a SOP should be. But you are the right person actually. At the end of the day, you know who you are and how you want the profs to think about you, right? So get it reviewed. Don't get it reviewed by too many people, because it can get confusing from experience. So just get it reviewed by 2 or 3 people who actually know what a good SOP is. And somebody asked me, can it be funny or can it be fictitious? Don't do that. Let the narration be very genuine and do not exaggerate. Let it be to the point, succinct, and very honest. So the more honest it is, the better it is for you. Okay, so this is